How's it going, guys? Welcome to episode 3 of the Preston Scott Project. We are probably a little overdue on this, but yeah, I'm back and got some things to talk about for sure. Yeah, I know my last episode, it's been, I guess, probably a month at least since I put it out, but yeah, I've been slacking, been working on some music for some of my own music and some music for some other local artists, and yeah, I got some cool things in the works. But yeah, let's get to it. Kind of picking up from episode 2, which if you haven't watched, go watch it. If you haven't watched episode 1, go watch it. I think episode 2, I talked a little bit about, like, I mentioned some names of some mentors and kind of some inspiration sources. And there were some that I forgot to mention, and a couple that I kind of like recently have been on a kick of watching. So we'll just start off with that. One of them is a great podcast to watch. Is a guy named Lewis Howes, and in particular, I watched one that he did with Big Sean, who's a music artist, kind of a hip hop rapper. But it was. I don't even listen to rap really anymore, and that was one of the best podcasts I've listened to. So yeah, Lewis Howes, they talk a lot about just different things, relationships, finances, just things like that. Another guy, Joe Dispenza, some very interesting stuff regarding, like, he's a doctor, Dr. Joe Dispenza, which he's been on the Lewis Howes podcast. I discovered him kind of, I would say, at the beginning of kind of my journey. I call it a spiritual awakening. You can call it whatever it is. Some radical transformation began, and it still has continued. But I discovered him pretty early on. Joe Dispenza. It talks a lot about the pineal gland and just kind of how your mind, like, talks about just how much your thoughts influence reality, and in particular, I've heard him talk about people healing themselves just by just believing that they, would be healed, and just it's pretty interesting stuff. I would definitely recommend looking into that. And yeah, that's really the only two I had put on here. I don't know if last time I had mentioned Mel Robbins. That's another good one. But yeah, just we'll start off there. And then, yeah, like I said, been working on some music stuff. As far as my music, I know that's kind of what I've been known for. That's kind of why I go by Preston Scott. Scott is my middle name. That is all stems from music. Which I know that's my thing is music is my main thing. But Zeus, come on, buddy. But as far as my music stuff, my goal right now is to get about a 10-song minimum album, 10 songs done put out an album, hopefully around September. I want to do it at least by my birthday, September 30th, Libra Gang. But yeah, I've probably got a good 3 to 4 songs. At least 2 of them are pretty much completely done. There's another 2 that are pretty close, so I'm almost halfway there, but definitely need to get to work. So that's kind of my music plans. Still playing lead guitar for Alex Englehart, the best dang Waxahachie freaking best thing to come out of Waxahachie. I'll tell you that. That dude's a incredible talent. Yeah, that's our next gig is playing with him at Union 28, which is an awesome venue in Midlothian. We'll be there, I think, April 26th or something like that. It's like the same day as the wine walk that they do every year. So yeah, still doing that. Still working on my music. Still, we're working on an EP for Alex's stuff. And like I said, working with some other local artists on some pretty cool stuff. There's a lot of good music in the works. And yeah, I read my first book probably since high school. geez, at our last gig, I played with Alex at the Texas Theater in Waxahachie, and I guess one of Alex's parents, like really good friends, has kind of become like almost like a mentor. I feel like, and I'll reach out or she'll reach out and share some cool things every now and then, and she showed up to the gig with some books, like a bunch of books, like 4 or 5 books, and I read one of them, which was called The Four Agreements, which it turns out like I've had 4 or 5 plus like close friends reach out and say they've read it, and I'm sure they mentioned it to me at the time when they read it. I just wasn't about reading no books, but that was kind of a goal that I've had lately, and I read that book in a matter of probably 2 or 3 days, maybe like 3 hours total of reading, maybe less. But it's a very good book, like life changing. Honestly, like a lot of the stuff I'd already kind of implemented, but just to have it in writing and kind of just give you that direct thing, like to remember the Four Agreements. It's basically things to live by, really, like every day of your life. And the first one I think was, I don't know if this is in order, but I wrote them down. Be impeccable with your word. Basically, like use your word for good. Like if there's gossip going on, I've tried to stay away from it now. It's hard. I mean, it's hard, man. It's hard when you start like keeping this in your mind, because people talk, man. They talk about everything, things that bother them. But ultimately, I mean, you know, ultimately it's just use your word for good. You don't have to gossip. You don't have to let things have power over you. You don't have to be bothered by anything. Nothing has to bother you. You don't have to take, and this is the second one that I wrote here, don't take anything personally. That's this second agreement. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. The third one is don't make assumptions, which is great. I mean, and it kind of reminds you, like, I can ask questions. Anything I'm unsure about, just communicate clearly and directly. Just some stuff's hard to talk about, but ultimately it's better to talk about it or to ask if you're unsure about something. And the only dumb question is a question that you don't ask. I don't know where I heard that quote, but that wasn't in the book. But I definitely thought of that quote when, I read that. Don't make assumptions. And I put in parentheses, ask questions, Don't assume anything. Go to the source anytime you can. And the fourth one, always do your best, that's another great one. And keep in mind, your best will vary day to day and even minute by minute. Your best, like, I've been doing 50 push-ups every day for the past probably at least 2 months. I've been doing at least 50 push-ups every day. And, some days they're easier than others. Like today I did those push-ups and I'm like, why are these getting harder? They should not be getting harder. Who knows? I mean, it could be, I've been sleeping good. I was going to say lack of sleep, but there's so many factors. It could be anything. But I still did my best. I did, I got them done. It wasn't as easy as normal. I did my best, but that's just with anything in life. Always do your best. And then it takes away any doubts you had or any regrets. Like if you did your best, that's all you can do. If you did your best, you might be sick one day and you're still doing your best. You could have done better maybe if you weren't sick, but you did your best with what you were given, with the cards you're dealt at that moment. So 4 great things to remember. I'll go through them one more time here. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally, literally anything. Nothing that anyone feels about you or says about you has anything to do with you. That's in their reality. That's how they feel. That's what they think. That's what they see. There's a 1,000 people that every single one of them sees you differently, and it has nothing to do with you, honestly. And that's why if you live by these 4 things, I've realized, like, you can rest easy. I mean, honestly, be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best. So, the book is The 4 Agreements. I think the author's name is Don Miguel. my mom actually has that book. She saw me post something on Facebook about it, or someone just shared my post with her, and she asked me to leave it on my counter so she could borrow it. So I think she's reading it. Maybe it's taking her longer, but yeah. Another little note I put here. You know, the book, it's a Toltec knowledge. It was kind of, I guess, the ancient civilization, the Toltecs, and that's where the knowledge comes from for that book. That was kind of things they lived by. But it talks a lot about like kind of your just your mind state. Basically, like I think heaven or hell is a state of mind. Ultimately, like you know, you could definitely dwell on all the negative things, or you can find the little things to be grateful for. Like I'm grateful for, you know, my morning coffee, or, you know, that, you know, whatever it is, you know, my dogs are healthy. Grateful for you know, that my truck's running good right now, whatever it is. Or, you know, you can dwell on the negative things like, oh man, work was so busy, or whatever it is. Just try to find things to be grateful for. Heaven really can be a mind state. You can, and I think I'm a just to myself, maybe to people as well. Some of my friends have pointed out, you know, they've seen the progress and just the whole shift in my just life, my happiness. I think just to myself, I'm a good example of that. I've just seen how radically my life has changed from just getting my mind right, honestly. And reading this book was a good you know, just reminder. And I recommend everyone reads that book, honestly. Like, it's great, and I recommend you try to incorporate those 4 agreements into your life. Yeah, and I got a couple other awesome books, so thanks, Susan, for those books. I'm looking forward to. I had right before I got those books, I had ordered a book off Amazon called "Power of Awareness" by Neville Goddard, and I'm about halfway through that almost. But it's a lot more like, it's harder to follow because the way he, you know, talks and stuff and writes is. Sometimes you have to read sentences a couple of times to make it stick. But I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Just smart people are hard. Sometimes you gotta read the sentences a couple times. But yeah, I thought that was worth sharing for sure. It's a good book. I definitely highly recommend it. The 4 Agreements. And I'll let you borrow it too if you're interested. Shoot me a message or text or anything. Also, real quick, if you haven't seen, I did create a Preston Scott Project Facebook page and a Preston Scott Project Instagram. So if you haven't already, please go follow those. I've been trying to share, you know, cool things like that inspire me, or little quotes and things I've been sharing. I get like 1 like from the same person all the time, but that's not why I do it. But I just want to make sure everyone that wants to see that stuff sees it. So if you haven't, go right now on your phone. You can pause this video, go to Facebook, the Preston Scott Project, go to Instagram, the Preston Scott Project, give it a follow. And yeah, so there's that. What else? I got sticky notes again. This is kind of my thing. Like I said, these are kind of ramble sessions for now, but I do have some key points that I want to go over. But yeah, these will get better as we go. And yeah, I had written down here. Oh, just kind of touching back. I mean, I think by now most people know. If you're watching this, you probably know that I'm sober from alcohol. I have not drank in, it's been December 10th was a year, so a year and a quarter, over a year and a quarter. That's crazy. We're already pretty much through quarter 1 of this year. But as far as sobriety, I mean, one of the hardest things about being sober is this socialization. I keep getting, there'll be points where I get real comfortable being here in my room here in my dojo, me and the dogs, or on the weekends I have my daughter. I'm pretty, we're chilling, pretty comfortable for the most part. But man, after a while, especially like we haven't been playing a lot of gigs, I haven't been playing a lot of acoustic gigs. I'm just always up in here just chilling. I mean, I cook pretty much every meal that I eat, so that keeps me busy. I stay caught up on laundry and vacuuming and all those things. Like, and I stay so caught up that I just get bored, and I should probably, work on music in all my free time or something. But man, socialization is important. You need to socialize with people. So I do. I do get out when I can. Anytime. I mean, if anyone hits me up to go do something, even if they're going to the bar or something, I'll go meet and chill there. I mean, I probably won't stay out till, you know, last call, but I'll still come kick it. So, yeah, socialization, that's a hard thing. So for anyone that's, just newly sober, or thinking about getting sober or trying to get sober, just be prepared. I mean, that's a hard thing, and you got to find ways to still socialize with people. I spend a lot more time with family now. Like I'm family events. That's my favorite thing, when there's a niece or nephew's birthday party, or whatever it is. I mean, family holidays, those are my favorite things. I mean, they always have been, but very cool. Thanks, Zeus. He likes them too. Yeah. So there's that. And yeah, another thing I've been dreaming a lot lately, like having a lot of dreams. For years, I mean, I'm sure I dreamed, I just didn't remember them. But lately, I think just my mind's finally just clear enough, and just, I don't know, maybe I'm just sleeping better and things like that. But been having dreams that I'm able to remember a lot of, and I really feel like dreams are not all random. Like it's weird, the people in them or whatever. There's always some connection to like something going on in life, or that something, later on, after I have a dream, like a few days later, I'll be like, oh wow, that kind of connects with this, whatever. Yeah. Man, I scribble these things down. I'm like, why did I write this? Right here, I wrote abundance, financial freedom. Oh, these are goals of mine, kind of. Which, I mean, I'll say abundance-wise, I feel like I have everything I need. It doesn't come easy by any means. I mean, I would much rather do something other than spend 9 hours of my day at a desk job. But for now, it's what I got to do to get by and pay the bills. But, I just, like I said, as long as I keep working on the music and keep doing this, Preston Scott Project stuff, I really firmly believe that it's just a matter of time. I'll achieve the financial freedom that I'm looking for. Then I'll be able to stay home. And I wrote down gardening, like growing my own fruits and vegetables. And I wrote beehive, like to get my own honey and things like that. Like, that is on my mind so often, like constantly. So once my house gets done here, I'm gonna garden is high priority. I'm gonna grow definitely some sort of romaine lettuce or spinach or both, or peppers, carrots, yeah, broccoli, whatever. I mean, whatever. I'll have to do my research, but and then start my own beehive. I found this thing online called the Flow Hive. Which is pretty cool. Anyone that's interested in that, it seems like it kind of makes it pretty straightforward and easy. I mean, I wouldn't say easy, but as easy as it can be. Flow Hive, check it out. Yeah. Oh, and real quick to touch back, I kind of remember why I wrote down socialization, other than that being a huge kind of hurdle when you get sober, because you're not really getting hit up all the time. Oh, let's go get a beer or whatever. I'll still go kick it with anyone that says, hey, let's go get a beer. I'll be like, I won't have the beer, but I'll sit and talk with you while I have some water or coffee or whatever. I drink a lot of coffee. And hot tea, dude. I got all kinds of hot teas, but socialization. I wrote that down because I kind of another part of the Preston Scott Project. I want to make some kind of sober like gathering, like whether it's like a once a week meetup or just like a page where everyone can, hey, like sober minds, like, hey, having people over today, cookout, everyone bring your own thing, or whatever, whoever, different people host, something like that. You get the idea, but whether it be through my Facebook page or we start some other page or whatever, anyone that's interested in that, I would love to get your feedback, your thoughts. I've got a good group of buddies that are on the sober journey. So I know we got a good start. It would be some cool hangs, like some bonfires or cookouts, or meet up and I don't play golf, but go bowling or do whatever. Even just, hey, come over and watch the Stars game or whatever it is. Football. I mean, football's over, but go Cowboys. So yeah, socializing, that would be cool if we can orchestrate something like that, because I still struggle with the socialization. I'm home all the time. You can ask anybody. Like, I don't get out a lot, but I'm willing to. I would like to. Yeah, so I know, like I said at the beginning, I've been slacking on the podcast. I wrote that down here. I said I was going to try to do 2 a month. I think I'm barely getting 1 a month at this point. But I talked to a buddy today, and it kind of reminded me why I'm doing it, and I'm gonna keep trying my best. I'm gonna keep doing my best. That's one of the 4 agreements that we talked about. Yeah. So my apologies, anyone that has been waiting, all you thousands of people. But yeah, anyone that has watched, I really do appreciate it. I'm gonna try to clip some of like the things that I say in here that I feel like are some key points that would make like good TikToks or Instagram reels. If you guys want to comment on here and like time stamping of them, like after you hear me say something cool, like, oh, you said this at that time, that'd be cool to make into a YouTube short or a whatever. I think that's a good thing that I could do. Yeah. So I think we're done with that sticky note. I wrote books was the last thing on there, which I've kind of already talked about books. 4 Agreements and Power of Awareness. That's the first 2 books I've read since high school. So, geez, 15 years probably. And going back to sobriety, I wrote down on the sticky note because I wanted to go in depth. I guess I remember writing this sticky note. As far as alcohol, like reasons to quit. Initially, just to get control of my life, just to not wake up like, oh my gosh, why did I do that, or why did I just just waking up with that regret. Just what did I do? What did I say? Blah blah blah. Even sending text messages that I'm like, what? Like, why would I do that? Initially, that's kind of all it was just I was tired of not having control of my actions, and but after I quit, I've realized so many more benefits. Like, it's unreal. And I'm still discovering new benefits, like just health reasons, weight loss. My mind is so much clearer. My skin is clear. My hair and my fingernails, just everything just growing better. So many things. Like, I haven't been sick. Like, knock on wood, I have not been sick. Not even allergies. Not even like a sore throat. Not even a cough. Nothing. I have not been sick at all since I quit drinking alcohol. Over a year. Like, not at all. And I used to always get like, my ear would get stopped up. I couldn't like just, I don't know what it was. I had a specialist, an ENT specialist, close to probably 10 years ago, tell me that I would have to take Zyrtec every day and some Nasacort or whatever, and that was the only solution they could come up with. Now I'm breathing better than ever. I've also, like, I talked about this already before, but I've quit. I think from quitting alcohol, it made me want to take so much better care of myself. I quit vaping. I started doing Zens, but I quit Zens a couple months ago. I've quit pretty much anything that I know is bad for me. I've cut out pretty much all added sugars. I pretty much don't have. I'm not going to say any because I think the worst thing, I was telling a guy at my work this today, I think the worst thing I eat is like the Quaker rice cakes, the caramel and the cinnamon apple. And I'll get the chocolate rice cakes every now and then. But even those, they have like 3 grams of added sugar, maybe, like something ridiculously low. And then other than that, I get like 90% dark chocolate from Walmart. You know, when I run out of the kind I order online, that's zero. It's zero added sugar because it's sweetened by monk fruit, which is, I found so many things from the same company, Chalk Zero, which that's on my list. I'll get to that in a second. But added sugars, I've cut those out pretty much completely. And when I first quit drinking, I think my sugar cravings skyrocketed. I was eating a lot of candy out of the candy bowl, but started eating healthier, eating more protein, like just more fruits and vegetables, just natural sugars, using honey a lot. And my sugar cravings have pretty much gone away. Like, I eat a lot of fruit. Now my latest thing has been, we'll just go ahead and dive into this, is like dried fruit. Like, as far as my diet, these are my, and they're not cheats. They're not like cheat meals because there's literally, it's natural sugar. Dried fruits. I get dried mango, dried kiwi, dried pears, dried peaches. What else? Yeah, dried mango is the best. Dried cherries, and they're all chewy. It's not like freeze dried, like crunchy or nothing. And it's all by this company called it's Herbaila, Herbaila. The best like snack ever. It's like literally you don't, it will replace candy, anything like that. So that I eat every day. Like after dinner, I'll eat some dried mango or dried kiwi or, you know, some of both, like dried cherries, whatever. They got dried apples, dried pineapples. I think some of them might have added sugars, but I don't get the ones. If I see it's added sugar, I don't get it. And the other one I was talking about, the Chalk Zero, that's the it's sweetened with monk fruit, which I had never heard of, but I looked it up and it's sure enough it's like a fruit, and it's yeah, they have so many things. Like their Chalk Zero, it's almost like their own Reese's. They have like baked goods, and it's all zero sugar, like crazy. They got like their own version of like Nutella, which is delicious. Like the dark chocolate hazelnut spread, zero sugar. I will tear that up. I'm telling you, like it's unreal with some dried bananas, or even just regular bananas. But Chalk Zero, gluten-free, vegan, keto, all those things. Like it's safe for you. And yeah, so yeah, quitting alcohol, I don't think I would be doing any of these things I'm doing. Like the one thing that I'm lacking on, I know, is probably my physical fitness. But like I said, I've implemented doing 50 push-ups a day. I still walk. But I think on average at least like 7,000 steps a day. So that's it's probably double what most Americans probably do. So I'm doing better. I definitely notice a difference in my strength and I can feel the muscle in my chest and my arms. It targets a lot of things. I feel good. Even my core, like, yeah, but I need to do some more physical fitness. I've been really considering getting one of those mini trampolines. They call them a rebounder, because that's really good for your lymphatic system to drain all the toxins out of your body. Which, from my understanding, it's like your lymphatic system is like little gates, and you got to, like, physical movement is what drains them. So, probably jump rope, little trampoline. Whatever, jogging. I got some jump ropes here. I forget. I could probably do that. But yeah, I mean, thanks to quitting drinking, I think that I'm on a really good track. Um, and yeah, I mean, so many benefits. You will. I shared a thing the other day, maybe yesterday, on social media, that quitting alcohol, it'll be the greatest decision you ever made, and you won't realize it in the moment. Probably take you a good couple months, but if you can stick with it and get to the point like where I'm at now, I could go to a bar every day of my life, and I'm not worried I will ever drink again. Not worried at all. Like, I have no desire. Like, just my whole view of it has changed. I realize that it's a poison, it's a toxin. There's no benefits to it, and it's literally, I feel like it was created to keep us from connecting. Just human. I could go. Oh man, the direction I'm wanting to go with this right now, I just could go hours and hours. But yeah, I think alcohol definitely numbs your spiritual sense, like your pineal gland. I'll even say that. Like, it maybe contributes to calcifying that. That's a term I hear a lot. Like the fluoride, I think helps like, it's all, I feel like, on purpose to keep humans, you know, like low on the totem pole and keep us, wanting and needing and really just on autopilot. Um, Alcohol definitely is not helping anyone get in touch with, their spiritually connecting with God, or whatever you believe in, really. And to touch on that subject, man, I've been talking about this to a few buddies lately, and haven't been having some crazy things. I always talk about like angel numbers and spirituality type stuff and things like that. I grew up going to church heavily. My grandfather was a deacon at the church, and my Mimi was like the secretary or something at my church, and the pastor was my grandpa's neighbor, like just like honestly an idol to me. Like, our pastor was the coolest dude ever growing up, and my family always went to church. Even like on Wednesdays, we did Awanas and did all that. And even after high school, like, I had buddies that still like went to all kinds of church type things, and I would go to them and was very involved. And somewhere along the way, I kind of just stopped, like, go like really like diving into like just seeking God, really, I guess you could say. And it's nothing on purpose. Like, I didn't stop believing in God or anything, but lately, just to get back to the point, I feel like, so it's been so crazy. Like, just even the past month, I would say it's really been. It's like God has been putting people around me to kind of like call. I would say, like, hey man, don't forget, like, this is all through me. Like, I'm the reason. And to be honest, like, there's been times in life where I'm like, oh, I was brought up believing this. Like, where's the definitive proof? Like, I don't feel any kind of spiritual connection. Well, now I feel like my mind is clear enough that I've got like this ability to connect, and I'm starting to have these spiritual, you know, um, things happen in my life, like feelings and events and occurrences, and because I'm self-reflecting, because I'm like seeking all these things, and I feel like now I'm able to go back to God with like it, and just be able to connect better. Which that's on my agenda here, is to get back to doing that. But to get back to the point, like lately, God, I feel like God has kind of been calling me back. I would say, like, to Him, in the most crazy way. Like, first thing I remember, like, just to go back, there was just I got some random friend request on Facebook, some older, like, maybe like Indian or Hispanic, Native American looking lady. I don't know what the nationality, but probably in her 60s. And she had sent, like, before I didn't even accept the friend request because I didn't know her, but her picture had like I don't know, some witchy type looking stuff, like some sage and all that, which I got sage incense and stuff like that just because it smells good or whatever. But she just had some things like clearly like she practiced some kind of like witch type of stuff, witchcraft. And she had messaged me like some crazy stuff like, oh, some people around, like I was drawn to you by your light, and some people around you are envious, and you're under spiritual like attack and blah blah. You need to send me a picture of you, and we need to do just the craziest off the wall thing. And I'm like, how did you find me? Oh, I was drawn to you by your light, just crazy stuff. And I didn't feed into it. I was just like, what in the world? Like I thought she was trying to like I don't know. I don't know. I've kind of learned like divination, like I don't know. I kind of teetered on that for a while. Like what is okay, what's not okay. Is, like horoscope stuff cool. There was a brief period where I was listening to this lady that did readings like on YouTube, collective like tarot readings. And if you listen to it, it's not witchy sounding at all. It's just like straight positive. Like, every video starts with, hey everyone, like I'm here to do these collective reading, just sending you all the love and light. And it was all just positive stuff. And really like made my days better, like listening to that. And then somewhere along the way, I'm like, man, this has not really led to anything. Like listening to this every day, like, so I started questioning those types of things, and now I've kind of done my research. But after all that, I kind of was like, maybe I am kind of like, am I being drawn in the wrong direction? Am I people trying to misguide me? And then I had a buddy, like I have a lot of buddies, and I've recently learned that they have a connection with with God and Jesus, that I had never previously known until I asked, or they reached out to me randomly about it. So the first thing I remember, like one of my buddies hit me up about he's sober as well, and we were just talking on the phone one day, just random phone call. We don't talk a lot on the phone. Just had probably the first phone call in a year or so, like, or at least months, dude. And it was just random. Towards the end of the call, he was like, hey, I don't know how you feel about God or whatever, but this worship band I really like, Elevation Worship, they're coming to town at Dickies Arena. We need to go see them if you're down. And I was like, yeah. Ended up not going. Tickets were kind of pricey, and I was in the middle of some financial things, and honestly, I probably could have made it work, but I just I didn't. But he ended up going, and it looked so awesome. And that same phone call, he had put me on a lot of the songs I'd added to a playlist, and those songs I listened to them. Like the next day, I picked my daughter up from her mom, and I had that playlist that he had kind of sent me a bunch of their songs, and I'd put them on a playlist, and I was listening to that when I picked my daughter up. And as soon as my daughter got in, I just had a feeling like this feels good. Like this, such good songs, great lyrics, it's just a feeling, and you're like, yeah, this is it. And yeah, so that was the first thing, and I didn't really put all this together till like recently, but that happened. And then shortly after that, like probably within a week or less, maybe even a couple days after that, had a friend that I hadn't talked to in a while randomly message me on Instagram saying that I was on their mind during their morning prayers. Like this was mind blowing. Like they're like, is everything okay? Like God's been putting you on my heart. And I was just like I almost wanted to cry. Like I was at work when I was reading this, and I was like, that is insane. Like God is clearly like just out of nowhere. Like I'm like, what? And they're like, is everything okay? Blah, blah, blah. And I kind of mentioned like, oh, maybe this random witch lady hit me up, messaging me. Like, I don't know. And I did have a lot of questions, like, but clearly like God's working. And I watched a thing literally today talking about how God like confirms things through your friends, through things like that. And, yeah, that was another thing, very, very strange. And then probably it might have been that same day or the day after. One of my buddies at work was out for like 6 weeks, had surgery, was out of work for 6 weeks, and the day he comes back, and he's never talked about God or religion or anything. Like, I didn't had no idea he believed, and I think it's new to him, honestly. Like, not for sure, but came to work talking about how he had watched some show. I think it's called The Chosen, or maybe he watched a movie about Christianity and things like. And he just brought it up and started talking about it, and I was like, what in the world? Like, so out of the blue, like he's talking about that. And I told him straight up, like, dude, I think God like wanted you to say that in front of me, because like it's been crazy. And one of probably my best friend has been going to church every Sunday. Just started doing that recently, and invited me a few times. Alex, the singer from our band, he hit me up the other day randomly to go to church, and I was in the middle of cooking, so I couldn't go. I was meal prepping for the week, had like sausage and eggs and all kinds of things going, and it was like 30 minutes before church. There was no way I was going to make it. But that same day, my mom. So my older brother sends us the link to watch his church sermon every Sunday. And I don't ever watch it, to be honest. Like I'm glad they send it. I should watch it, but usually I'm doing something or in the middle, and I never thought it was a big deal. Like, but that Sunday, my mom sent it directly to me. It was like, give it a try. Like, it was so like, it was just kind of, and my mom's gonna watch this and be like, she probably had no idea that hit me like that. And I watched. That was the first one I watched, because I was like, Alex just asked me to go to church. I couldn't make it. And then literally 5 minutes later, my mom's like, give it a try. Sent me the link directly after my brother had just sent it to the group message, the family group message. Like, my mom directly sends it to me. Give it a try. I'm like, what? And so I definitely, man, I don't know. And that same day that girl messaged me on Instagram, saying I was in her morning prayers, there's another buddy at my work that I talk to a lot of, like, my health type thing, and spiritual type things, like, synchronicities and just things that have happened in life that, whatever it might be. Just he's my go-to guy at work, and we talked about all these crazy spiritual things and all these things, and never really brought God up or anything specifically. So that after she had sent that, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go test the waters here and figure something out. I went and asked that dude. I was like, hey man, do you pray? Like, you believe in God, obviously. Like, I knew he did. You just can tell when someone does. And he's like, I said, do you pray? And he was like, every day. I was like, what? He said, all the time, dude. He started telling me some crazy things, like his belief in God, and how he knows, like, all the like the tarot and the haunted houses, like not like costume haunted houses, but legit haunted houses. Like, those things can open you up to some evil spirits. Like, evil spirits and those things are real. They exist. You can become under attack, like, spiritual. And yeah, we just got into that conversation, and even just since then, just God's putting people around me and just reminding me. And I know there's a reason. Like, obviously I believe in things like that, but I guess just to remind me that's the reason for it all, and the focus. And yeah, so wanted to share it. I didn't really plan on getting that in depth about that, but that just kind of came to me, and I felt like it was important. And I'm still definitely seeking answers. I watch videos every day, like looking up things on YouTube about, because there's definitely a connection, like, between all the spirituality and Jesus. Like, we have a lot more power and ability to connect than we realize. Like, people just, and I this is a big thing that I didn't write down, but I know that this is something I've heavily been thinking about, like, pointing out. I think a lot of what kind of deflected my attention away from, like, church and Christianity in general, not like stop believing or anything, but it's just the fact that oh, it seems like people just believe. They say they believe that Jesus died for our sins, and so they're going to heaven. That's it. But they can still be a piece of crap and continue to knowingly do things that are wrong, and not even try to like stop doing things that are bad. I think like seeing that, especially since I've got sober, like I'm not better than anyone, but I'm every day trying to be better and do things to better myself. And I see all these Christians that are not doing that. Like, and so I think that was a struggle for me. Like, but what I've realized is we all need to, I think Jesus is a prime example of, we all need to try to be like that. What would Jesus do? Let's bring those bracelets back, you know? Like, I think that's the main thing. Like, try to be more Christ-like. Try to live like Jesus lived, you know? I don't think just believing in that Jesus died for our sins, that God sent his only son to die for us, like, I don't think just believing that and then continuing to be a piece of crap, I don't think that's the answer, to be honest. Like, I just don't. I think that we got to do more than that. I think we got to, and I'm also not entirely sure about like that hell is a fire pit that we're going to spend eternity in hell. I don't know. Like, but it's hard to, that's another struggle for me, is like thinking that God, the creator of everything, like decided to create some, you know, some fire pit to send people to. Like, I don't know, but hopefully this opens up the comments, man, and y'all get to talking on here, because I do want to know your thoughts on these things, and I do want to have a community here and interact and talk about these things. I want the best for everybody. That's why I'm doing this. I want to help people, and I still need help myself, clearly. Like, I don't have all the answers, but I'm seeking. And yeah, definitely trying to be more Christ-like every day. Like, I'm trying to not use profanity, try not to use cuss words. I mean, I've been very good. I don't know if people know this about me or not, but I don't really, there's, and my daughter might say different, but I feel like if you got on here, she might say, and asked her, like, do you ever hear your dad cuss? She'd probably, I'd feel like she would say, like, maybe 3 times. Like, I'm very good about not doing it. I feel like I'm very good anyways. And, but I'm definitely trying, just in general, like not cussing around people in general. Like, it's hard sometimes, but I'm not a huge, compared to some people, I guess, but I can do better. I know that. Cussing, like, I just need to be more Christ-like. I need to be impeccable with my word, going back to the 4 agreements. Just think, man, and you got to think, like, Christ, like Jesus, when he was here, he had to be unbothered by, not like, people are throwing stones at him and whatever, like, and he just continues to do what he's doing, you know? Like, I feel like we all need to be that way, and not judge people, and not and not take it personally when people judge us for things or whatever it is. Like, as long as you're doing your best, another one of the 4 agreements, just keep doing it. What matters is how you feel and what you think, and you can't let people deter you. Like, don't let them have power over you. You give people that power. You don't have to. And that took me a long time to realize that. I don't have to please people. And that was a reminder I got today from a buddy. Like, he was asking when the next podcast episode was coming out, and I was like, dude, I got like 60 views on my last video, and it's been a month. Like, kind of disheartening. And he's like, well, you know, just do it because you like doing it, and, you know, don't worry about that. And I was like, holy cow, like, that's exactly right. Like, that's why I started doing it in the first place, to just organically. I wasn't doing it because I wanted people to watch. I think the excitement of realizing, oh, people are paying attention, it gave me some, you know, I got some idea of like, oh, you know, this many people will probably watch this, and then when they don't, I'm bummed out. But it doesn't matter, you know. I'm doing this because I just want to share it, and I want it to be there for if people ever want to dive in. You know, ultimately, I try to live by example, and you know, if people are inspired by the way I'm living, and they want to know more, here you can come here and find. This is, you know, the 3rd episode. There's 2 episodes before this, and I feel like there's some pretty good stuff there that I've learned. A lot of it I've learned the hard way. It's my latest song, The Hard Way. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Which that song is blowing up in Mexico right now. It's crazy. It's on like 3 playlists, and they're all like Latino playlists. Like my top cities for this song, and maybe like all time, are in Mexico. My top country is Mexico. It's like by a long shot over the United States, and it's because of this song. Like, it's crazy. I don't understand why, but yeah, go listen to it. Anyways, that's kind of like that's really all I kind of wanted to talk about. Probably more than I really intended to talk about, but yeah, I just needed to keep. I need to keep doing this. I need to keep putting the word out. As always, man, hopefully if you guys got questions, you'll ask them in the comments. Give me more things to talk about. What, like I said, timestamp anything. I know it's hard to go back and rewatch. You don't have to rewatch this, but maybe just comment anything that you think was like stood out to you on this video that you were like that made an impact. Maybe just comment that below and let me know so I can maybe make a little clip out of it and maybe reach more people that way. Sober gatherings, hit me up about those. Shoot me a message. Like, it's not weird if you're just like, hey, dude, I saw your podcast and you said something about sober gatherings. I'd love to kick it sometime or whatever. Let's go grab a coffee. Let's go, go hit the hiking trail or go wherever, dude. I'll walk down my street. You can come over and we'll walk down. I got a cool street. We'll go walk down the street and get our steps in or whatever. Get the vitamin D from the sun. Whatever it may be, So hit me up, yeah. And, those that are keeping up and the people that hit me up and, are interested in this stuff and interested in my journey and that are watching this and supporting music, supporting the Preston Scott Project, it means more than you know. Like, I love doing it. I love making music. Been doing a lot. Follow me on TikTok too. I've been doing just having a lot of fun, just doing little just clips of cover songs I've never even played before. I'll just be sitting at home with my guitar and I'll mess around like, oh, I wonder if I can figure that song out. And I'll just play a little part of it. And I'm like, I'm going to record a little clip of that and post it. Just having fun again, making music. Just life is fun. Life is a gift and you got to make the most of it. You can't let past things hold you back. You can't let, you just got to find reasons to be thankful and find reasons to just persevere and be happy and just keep on keeping on. Life is good and life is what you make it. Ultimately, you create your reality from right here. Get your mind right. Take care of yourself. The body is a temple, and love yourself. Do everything out of love. Love everybody. People that hate you, love them. Like, don't go out of your way. You don't got to go out of your way to love them, but if they come at you, love them. Kill them with kindness, whatever you got to do. Protect your energy, but always do things out of love. And, that'll do it for this episode, I guess, man. Love you guys and, wishing you guys a great rest of the week. Today is Wednesday. I'll probably be putting this out on Friday. So enjoy your weekend and enjoy the hopefully nice weather. I don't know. I haven't checked, but weather's getting nice out. Technically, this is the time for New Year, really, back in the day. Yeah. We'll tell that story later, but enjoy it and love you guys. Thanks for watching.